Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas. Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado.
Because this here's the wildest ride in the wilderness!
Hello, everyone. I'm Alicia.
And I'm Nathan.
Welcome to episode 158 of Adventures and Mousecapades.
This week, we just want to reinforce how awesome it is when y'all leave us a review. Specifically a 5-star review, but we're not going to be, pushy. We love having feedback. We wish we had more. Obviously, getting feedback and reviews and stars and all the rest of that stuff does help us in the algorithm. The thumb of the oppressor, keeping us down and keeping us small. So share, like, subscribe, smash that like button. And we wanted to read you one of our reviews.
This one is from Callie True, titled, "You Convinced Me to Buy DVC," 5 stars. I love this podcast. My husband and I had been talking a lot about joining DVC. One day I was cleaning and wanted to listen to a podcast about DVC, and the What is DVC episode popped right into my feed. I found myself taking notes instead of cleaning. I truly enjoy the digestible information and honest experience. 2 weeks later, we signed our contract. I am excited to keep listening when I need a happy Disney pick-me-up podcast.
Aw. Well, thanks, Callie. Welcome to the Owners Club.
Yes.
We're so humbled by your feedback. Glad you enjoyed it. Love that the algorithm dropped what you were thinking about into your feed, and we could be there to help. So now, ironically, this week we are actually doing a DVC resort review. This is a continuation of our occasional series. This time we are looking at Disney's Riviera Resort.
It's a new year, so we're starting off the new year a little bougie.
Indeed.
As we do.
All right, well, despite Callie's amazing feedback, here's an important disclaimer. This is not a sponsored ad for timeshare purchases. We are not affiliated with Disney. We're just big fans of DVC and know lots of folks have questions about how it all works. If you want to talk specifics about ownership, we highly recommend checking out DisneyVacationClub.com or reaching out to DVC directly. And if you're in a Disney park, resort, or cruise ship, there's bound to be a DVC information desk close by to help you out.
As a reminder, Disney Vacation Club is Disney's timeshare product that grants you accommodations at deluxe class hotels in Walt Disney World in Florida, in Disneyland in California, and there are off-site resorts in Hawaii, Vero Beach, Florida, and Hilton Head, North Carolina. If you want to know about how DVC works, you can check out our episodes 98 and 14 of this podcast. We are DVC owners at the Aulani Resort in Hawaii, at the Villas at Disneyland Hotel, and we recently picked up points at the Polynesian Villas and Bungalows, along with their new island tower in Orlando, Florida. So there are a bunch of other episodes and trip reports in our back catalog where we talk about staying in Disney Vacation Club accommodations at these and other DVC locations too.
Indeed. All right, so let's talk about Disney's Riviera Resort. This is a 100% Disney Vacation Club property, unlike some other spots that are a DVC building or a DVC tower alongside a hotel. This is 100% DVC. This opened on December 16th, 2019, right before the pandemic. Great timing. The Riviera is inspired by Europe and is designed to highlight what Walt and Lillian Disney fell in love with on their travels to the French and Italian Riviera. This was Disney's first brand new DVC resort since Aulani opened in 2011. So there was quite a gap between when Aulani opened and when Riviera opened. And we'll get into that story on another episode. And the Riviera was announced at D23 in 2017 alongside the Galactic Star Cruiser. Of the two, this is the one that's still open.
Yep. The Riviera is a deluxe villa resort hotel category in the Epcot area, and the Riviera actually sits on what used to be the Barbados and Martinique sections of the nearby Caribbean Beach Resort. Or is it Caribbean Beach Resort?
Yes.
Okay.
K, who knows? This is a single large tower, although it has several sections, and it is 300 rooms. We'll get into that here in a second. I'm not so sure about that 300 number. Anyhow, it is on a dedicated stop on the Skyliner, which is an elevated tramway, which also was announced at that D23 back in 2017. So I said it's 300 rooms. That's what the official announcement was when at D23. And I'm doing the math on the room counts that I found from various sites, and I don't think there's 300 rooms.
You think there's more?
I think there's more. I think there's like 341-ish. It's complicated because you can have rooms that are basically combined to make 2-bedroom suites. So you can have like a 1-bedroom plus a studio. It's just, I don't understand. DVC math is hard.
And it doesn't match up with what they say it is.
No.
Even when you divide as you're supposed to.
Yes. So I don't know where the 300 number came from. I'm assuming it was a broad statement made at D23 and then just everybody rolled with it and nobody actually looked at what was the as-built to figure out what the final number was. So anyhow, we're going to walk through what type of suites and rooms that they have. Basically, there are 5 different options, all the way from a tower studio through a 3-bedroom grand villa.
Speaking of the Tower Studio, there are 24 of these, and the Riviera is the first resort to offer this kind of room. It is a studio room. It is 255 square feet. It sleeps only 2 people, and it uses a pull-down queen Murphy bed type thing. There is a separate bath, but there is no kitchenette, and that is a first for DVC.
Yes, these are very small rooms. It is very atypical for DVC. What is typical for DVC are the 186 deluxe studios. These are 423 square feet. They sleep 5. You have 1 queen bed, 1 queen pull-down Murphy bed, and 1 single pull-down bed. Now, this is the one, if you've stayed at a DVC resort or seen some pictures or maybe a YouTube walkthrough, this is underneath the television. It is a single bed. It is not made for adults. Like, I think from a weight perspective, I'm sure it's fine, but it does not look long enough to fit an adult who's a 6 foot or so tall. Like, your feet are going to be hanging off. This is a kiddo bed for sure.
If you're under 5.5 feet, then you could probably fit in that bed. So maybe not an adult male, maybe an adult female.
Maybe. There is a separate bathroom here, and this does have a kitchenette. So there's a small sink and things like that. I think it has a microwave in it, and all of those other accoutrements.
There are 177 one-bedroom villas. These are 813 square feet. This villa sleeps 5. In the bedroom, there's a 1 king bed. In the living room area, there's a queen pull-down and a single pull-down, the one under the television. There's also 1 bathroom and a full kitchen and dining banquette.
Indeed. These are very comfortable. We like staying in these a lot.
Yep.
There are 92 bedroom villas that are dedicated to bedroom, and we'll get into what dedicated means here in a second. But these are 1,246 square feet. They sleep 9 with a king in the first bedroom, 2 queen beds in the second bedroom, plus the queen pull down in the little kiddo bed underneath the TV. So that's 9 total. There are 2 full baths. There's a full kitchen and a dining banquette. So these are very comfortable suites. We've had one of these. It's really, really fantastic. Now we're going to talk about, there's 148 2-bedroom lock-off villas. These are effectively a combined studio plus a 1-bedroom. And so this is where the numbers go really wonky. And I'm not going to get into those details, but there are up to 148 of these. Now, clearly, if you have 186 deluxe studios and 177 1-bedroom villas, and you have 300 rooms, this is where math goes quantum and I don't understand it. But anyhow, the lock-offs are the exact same size as the 2-bedroom dedicated, but they sleep 1 extra person because both the studio side and the 1-bedroom side have that kiddo bed underneath the TV on both sides. Now, it's also worth noting that the second queen bed that's in this 2-bedroom lock-off suite is going to be that pull-down bed rather than a dedicated bed. So there is a little bit of a trade-off and a difference between a 2-bedroom lock-off and a 2-bedroom dedicated.
And lastly, but not least, there are 12 3-bedroom grand villas. These are 2,530 square feet, and they sleep 12 people. In one bedroom, there's a 1 king. In another bedroom, there are 2 queens, and in the third bedroom, there are 2 queens. Also in the living room, you have the 1 queen sleeper sofa. This has 3 full baths and a full kitchen with an island, a dining room for 12, a full living room, 3 balconies. It is on a single floor and about 5 rooms wide, and it's usually the end cap of the towers facing the lake.
These are delightful.
They are.
Now, it's worth noting that this is actually a sleeper sofa in the living room. It's not a Murphy bed pull down because that couch is out in the middle of the space. So just know that. I don't know if this is a platform bed or if this is a classic sleeper sofa that has the bar that goes through the middle of your back and tries to fold you in half in the middle of the night.
I don't know.
I don't know.
We didn't open this one up.
No, I would hope it's a platform bed because
this also has 2 separate entrances to the villa.
Correct.
A few moments later.
Hey, future Nathan here. I just heard from the one and only Len Testa from Touring Plans, and they've counted 489 rooms at the Riviera Resort, which tracks the numbers we just shared aside from the 2-bedroom lock-offs. Those lock-offs are 148 potential 2-bedroom suites that combine a 1-bedroom and a deluxe studio that are next to each other. So, all the numbers match up, but it does confirm that the initial 300-room resort announcement from D23 was just a swag guesstimate and not what was actually built. Thank you so much, Len, for fixing my math brain this morning. Very, very much appreciated. You can find Len over at turningplans.com and catch him on the Disney Dish podcast with Jim Hill. Len has some amazing contacts and insights and is well worth adding to your podcast library. All right, let's talk some of the essentials here. Obviously, as a Disney Vacation Club resort, you can pay cash if you really want to. Highly suggest that you use DVC points. So rooms start at 10 points a night for a tower studio in September, which is the low season, and go all the way up through 103 points a night for the 3-bedroom grand villa in late December during the holidays. Now, obviously, you need to either have your own DVC points that you have acquired in some way, shape, or form. Lots of different ways to do that. Or you can rent points. There's several different places online where you can basically pay a significant discount over the cash rate and borrow somebody else's points. Mm-hmm. And obviously, like I said, you can pay cash, but that is not the way to stay at the DVC resort. Yep. DVC contracts are good for 50 years. You get your annual allotment of points every year that you can use at various accommodations. And for the Riviera, that contract runs through January 31st of 2070.
Now for the basics. Check-in at Riviera is at 4 p.m. as with any DVC resort. Checkout is at 11 a.m. They have a check-in desk, concierge, bell services, valet, and those are all available at the main lobby area. Laundry is in room if you have a 1-bedroom or higher, with a common laundry room also available for studios on the 4th floor.
Transportation, there is the aforementioned Skyliner. You have a direct route right to Epcot. You can get to Hollywood Studios via a transfer at the Caribbean Beach Resort. And you can get to the Art of Animation and Pop Century resorts via the Skyliner as well. There's also the Disney World bus system that can get you to all the parks and all the water parks and Disney Springs and things like that.
Yep. For resort amenities, there are 2 pools at the Riviera. There's the Riviera pool, which is the family pool. It has a water slide that kind of wraps around it looks like a lighthouse tower kind of thing.
Yeah.
There's a splash zone area called S'il vous plaît, which I think is hilarious. And it features Fantasia characters. It's really cute. There's also a whirlpool or hot tub, whatever you want to call it. And the Beau Soleil pool. It is a quieter pool, and I don't think I've visited this one.
This is the one that's kind of in the middle of the U, whereas the Riviera pool is off the one leg of the U, if you will, closer to the lake. So they're both very nice.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I don't think the Beau Soleil pool always has a lifeguard or ever has a lifeguard, whereas the Riviera pool is always staffed. I couldn't see anything online about that, but that's sticking out in my brain. Your mileage may vary.
Yeah. And with any of the resort pools, there's always games and fun stuff that happen throughout the day.
Right, right. All of those games happen over at the Riviera pool, whereas the Beau Soleil pool is the quieter option.
Yeah.
Like most DVC resorts, this has a community hall. You can get foosball or video games, all sorts of stuff. Check out equipment. They have some lawn games and things like that outside. There's the Athletic Fitness Center. It's a little gym. It's a hotel gym, just standard stuff. You can go running if you want to. It's 2.21 miles around the lake. So, have fun with that. There's a nightly campfire outside, and they do movies under the stars out there on the lawn, weather permitting, on most evenings. There are other resorts that have more things going on in terms of activities and courts for tennis or this and that and the other thing. There's not a ton here, relatively speaking, but this is really geared towards you're going to a park and this is your home base.
Honestly, that's one of the reasons that I like this resort is because it ends up being a little bit quieter.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
On to dining. The on-site dining options at the Riviera Resort are amazing. We love the dining here.
Amen.
Starting off with Topolino's Terrace, Flavors of the Riviera. This is incredible food and fantastic staff at this French and Italian eatery. It's home to one of the best steaks we have had on property and a heck of a wine list that I know absolutely nothing about. Top floor of the Riviera and includes an outdoor patio. You can see the Epcot fireworks at night from the patio, and they do pipe in the soundtrack during the fireworks.
Very cool.
This is signature dining for dinner from 5 to 10 p.m. And for breakfast, it is the breakfast a la arte character breakfast in the mornings from 7:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. with Mickey, Minnie, Donald, and Daisy in the cutest outfits ever. Reservations are recommended. It is extremely popular. Now, do check the menu for the breakfast because this is more of a European-inspired breakfast. Doesn't have the Mickey waffles that you are expecting. So keep that in mind. I think it's still really good.
I know.
We'll
talk about that. We'll talk about that here in a little bit.
Yeah.
There's also Primo Piatto, which I keep wanting to call Primo Patio. But anyhow, this is the quick service restaurant. It has lots of great options. It is open from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. with a breakfast, lunch, dinner, and a late night menu. This is on the first floor near the Riviera pool. There is some fantastic food. This is a favorite of many folks that I've seen online.
There's also the Bar Riva, which is a pool bar near the pool. Duh. Open 11 a.m. to 10 p.m., featuring frozen cocktails, rosé, etc. Also has salads and sandwiches and burgers, etc.
All the standard pool bar fare.
Yep.
Lastly, we have Le Petit Café, which is just off the lobby. This is a beautiful patisserie featuring amazing treats and coffee. It also offers cocktails and wine with light bites in the afternoons and evening. Fantastic little spot. All right, so our thoughts. We have stayed here twice. We had a 2-bedroom preferred view for 6 nights during our DVC roulette 2-week stay back in August 2021. We talked about that back in episode 151. And we had a 3-bedroom grand villa for 3 nights with my parents before our very merry time cruise in December 2023. That is on episodes 103 and 104. So we have a little bit of experience here. This is an absolutely stunning resort.
although it is a very polarizing resort from what I have heard. We
What
like
is
it.
We
Is
love it. What is the opposite take on it? Not enough Disney?
very minimalistic. People just don't seem to like the design. There's not enough to do here, is what I hear. This is, however, very much our vibe and our favorite Florida resort so far.
So far. Now,
So far.
we were very taken by the new tower over at the Polynesian.
Yes.
And we may have purchased some more points there.
May have. We
May
did.
have. Yeah, exactly. So other than that, this is great. It is not in your face Disney. It is very classic and clean. It's very European. Like they absolutely nailed it. It is kind of like the 1923 restaurant on the Wish and the Treasure. It is that vibe, but applied to a hotel. It is about classic Disney art and design, clean. It has a focus on memorabilia from the days of old in Disney, how things were made. It has a bunch of stuff in a little library near the patisserie, near Le Petit Cafe, that has like some of Walt and Lillian's travel items and memorabilia from their tours of Europe. It's just, and the artwork on the walls.
The art is amazing here. The artists that they commissioned to do pieces here did a phenomenal job pulling in Disney IP in an extremely tasteful way. It's just, it's gorgeous. You can actually do an art scavenger hunt here if you talk to the front desk concierge area, which is a lot of fun. And you get a nice little prize at the end if you finish it. One thing we also didn't mention is the mosaics that are over on your way to the Skyliner. These are, I don't even know how big they are. They are very tall. They're probably like 30 feet tall, and they kind of wrap around from the floor up to the ceiling. There's two different ones. One of them is a Peter Pan style. The other is a Rapunzel Tangled style. And they are just absolutely gorgeous, and the craftsmanship and work and just the design of these mosaics is beautiful.
Yes. Now, Topolino's. Holy. If we could, we would eat there every night. Like, it is so good.
Yeah.
This is a go-to restaurant for us, whether we're staying at the Riviera or not. We make it a point to try to hit Topolino's on just about every trip that we've been to Florida. Like, it's really good.
Although we haven't gone the last couple trips, but that's okay.
Well, I said just about.
Okay.
We've been very busy the last few trips.
We have.
Yeah. Now, again, I have to put the disclaimer here. We've done the character breakfast once. It was in the pandemic times. The character interactions were not very interactive. It was very kind of standoffish from that perspective. That was the worst character dining experience I think we've had.
But it wasn't, when you say worst, it was the worst, but it wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad.
Up to our expectations.
It was exactly. Yes. Thank you. I was going to add that disclaimer, but you beat me to it.
I beat you to it.
It's not horrible. It's not bad. It just wasn't great.
Yeah.
And the menu is a thing, at least for me. I need to be more in the mood of not getting a Mickey waffle. Anyhow, we'll get over it.
Even the kids' menu doesn't have a Mickey waffle.
Yeah, what the heck? I want to be a kid with a Mickey waffle.
It's a different style of breakfast. It's still very good.
Yes.
It is just a different style. It's not your Americanized breakfast.
Right. This is a very relaxing hotel.
It is.
It is not go, which ironically, if we're not at Disney, which we haven't done a non-Disney vacation for a long time, but like our vacations that Alicia and I love to do are typically more relaxing and slow. And if we just have resort days, that's great, which we fly to Hawaii for tomorrow. So we'll be back by the time this comes out, but we have some stuff planned for Hawaii. But like, this is much more our vibe of just go enjoy the atmosphere and chill out. Sterling has loved this pool, getting involved with all of the games and things like that they host. It can be a really fantastic resort day for the right kind of family. If you're the kind of family who needs all those activities to be super scheduled and have tons going on and wants to go play basketball or tennis and things like that, this may not be the right resort for you.
It's a much more chill vibe. I will say that the pool is a very minimalistic pool. You do have the slide. There's just not a lot there though. It's just the open pool. There's chairs around there and stuff. And of course you have the lifeguards and end games and stuff going there, but it's not near as involved as some of the other pools on property.
Right.
We will definitely stay here again. Like we said, this is one of our favorites. Let us know if you have stayed here and if you have liked it or if you would pass on it next time. We'd like to hear what you think.
Absolutely. Please get in touch. Yeah, like we said at the top, we thrive on your feedback. We would love to hear from you. What other resorts would you like us to talk about? We definitely have some on our list. Let us know if there's a place that's near and dear to you that we haven't covered yet, and we'll get that next up. And with that, just remember, we are not affiliated with Disney or their subsidiaries. This is not sponsored. This is not an advertisement. Legal disclaimer. These opinions are our own. These are suggestions based on our own experiences. We recommend working with a travel agent or contacting Disney directly to plan your perfect vacation or buy DVC.
If you have any questions or suggestions or would like to be interviewed on our show to share your Disney experience, please send an email to podcast@ourmousecapades.com.
Go ahead and follow us on social media. We're at Our Mousecapades. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, Threads, and YouTube.
Please give us a rating and review in your podcast app. Please. It really helps people find us.
And of course, please don't hesitate to share us with your friends and fellow Disney lovers of all ages.
Thank you for listening. We will be in your ears next week.
Thank you for flying Star Tours. Bye-bye.